Did you know that there are new changes for anyone who wants to apply for postgraduate work permit starting from November 1st of the year? Yes, changes have been made. But what are those key changes and how do they impact you if you are going to start out right now? Well, I'm going to enumerate what remains unchanged and what has changed and what you could do if you are planning to come over to Canada to study and then apply for a postgraduate work permit. Well, things that remain unchanged are the general and physical eligibility requirements. It still remains the same. Applicants need to complete their study from a designated learning institution. All applications that are submitted before the 1st of November 2024 will be assessed based on the previous rules. Then the last is that graduates from flight schools, eligible flight schools, will continue to be assessed under the existing condition. But what has changed and how is it going to impact you coming into Canada and then eventually applying to extend your stay? Immigration is something that is huge, that is key to people. Many people use the study route to eventually get to a permanent route, but they need to first go through the postgraduate work permit to extend their stay if they so desire to do this. Well, one thing is very, very obvious. I keep telling people that before you come into Canada for school or for anything and you want to stay, start with the end in mind. So what do you want to do? Is it just schooling that is bringing you to Canada? If the answer is no, then ask yourself, what will I do or which visa will I need to move into to move me from where I am to eventually get to a permanent stay in Canada? That is what we call reverse engineering. But if you've done that research in the very first place, to a greater extent, you are on that road, making your life or your path to permanent stay in Canada. Let's delve into some of the new changes that are in place now. We'll take a look at them and we'll see how you can meet this particular requirement. 3 specific changes, crucial changes, big changes, as it were, have come into place. And how will you be able to meet these requirements? Starting from November 1st and after, there is going to be a proof of language proficiency test. What that means is that by the time you are applying for your PGWP, which is the postgraduate work permit visa, you will also need to show proof that you have language capacity depending on the institution, depending on the level of education you are pursuing here in Canada. If you have a university bachelor's degree or a master's or a doctoral degree, you will need to show proof of CLB 7. That is for English. For French, you will need to prove that you have NCLC level 7 in all your skills. That is a big ask, but you can do it if you prepare in advance. Then if you are in the university studying other programs, it is still the same. CLB 7 for English, NCLC 7 for French. The last one is if you are in any college, taking any college program or any other type, you'll be asked to show proof for your language proficiency, the level CLB 5 in all skill for English. And if you are speaking French, you will be asked to show proof of NCLC level 5. That is also a big ask, but you can start preparing yourself, because if you want to stay in Canada, you need to be proficient. Another restriction is what they call the field of study restriction for certain PGWP applicants. What that means is this: let's say you have a very broad field in agriculture. So for the fact that you study agriculture does not warrant that you have to go, you will be given the PGWP. You need to study in a field that is specified in the policy. How do you know that? The way you know that is to go into Canada.ca website, which is the government of Canada. There are lists of eligibility criteria where you can see courses that are approved for that. So you want to ensure that you are in one of these eligible fields to be able to apply. But of note, if you are a university bachelor, if you are a master's degree holder or a doctoral degree holder, you face no restriction in your field of study. For your proof of language test proficiency, as at the time you are submitting your application for your PGWP, you must ensure that your language test is less than 2 years. So if it is something you've done 3 years ago, it will not be admissible. So look at the timing. Look at the timing of your course. Ensure you take your test so that when you will be applying, it will be less than 2 years to that time. This is very, very crucial. It is tricky, but do not forget it, because things like this, so small, will mean a refusal of your visa when you first applied. Everything said, you want to be abreast with all the changes. You want to be forthright. You want to ensure that you get to that place where you will be able to make proper application and you'll be able to elongate your stay here in Canada. And eventually, if you so desire, and if you meet the requirement, apply for permanent residence. If you have any question based on what we've discussed, please leave your question in the comment section. I will ensure that I'll find answers to that. Take note, I am not an immigration consultant. If you need help, please look for a registered immigration consultant or a lawyer to help you with that. I am just giving you information that we are giving out that are available in the Canada.ca website. Please watch this video and stay on the channel and watch the other video, and I'll see you in the next video.